Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome to the small town of Rouhol, or Rouhol with a bit of a French accent, which is spelled R-O-U-J-A-N. And today we are featuring a 3-bedroom, 122 square metre, classically shaped Maison de Vigneron or wine grower's house. Now I say classically shaped because these houses are basically a square. We come up the staircase there into the middle of the property. Hang on one second. And then essentially what you would have had originally are 2 rooms on the right, 2 rooms on the left, and another room in front of us. Now over time a lot of these properties have been reconfigured and the rooms either side on this floor have often been knocked through, as we will see with this particular property. And this property has 2 special features. One is a garden. Wait till you see what the other one is. So we're straight up to the first floor. We're going to turn right. And here we have what was, well, originally would have been 2 rooms. Then it opened up to 1. And the current owner has put back this partition wall here to separate the kitchen dining area more than it was when they bought the house. So you've got your dining space here, really nice original wooden beams. Then you've got your kitchen here. There's quite a few bits and pieces everywhere, so I think that could give the impression that this space is perhaps smaller than it actually is. All of the room sizes, by the way, will be on our website, and if you look below in the description under the video, there will be a link to the full listing on our website. Okay, so that's your first sort of double room, if you like, here. Very good double glazing throughout the property. And then across the hall, actually before we do that, on the right you've got a shower room and toilet. So that's good to have on this floor. Then you've got double doors. So if I turn around, sorry, you've got double doors, glazed doors leading through to the kitchen dining room. And then you've got double doors going through to your sitting room. The property has got air conditioning and also features a very smart, very modern pellet burning stove. This is basically a modern equivalent of a wood burning stove that burns wooden pellets. But these things are much more high-tech, so they can be programmed to start and come on at a certain time and all things like that. So really good sized room. Here you've got 2 sets of doors leading out to a small terrace, and then below that is the garden. And across the way you've got a local farmer's yard. He's got his tractor running at the moment, which is always helpful. Thank you very much for that. But it does mean that you've got a lot of blue sky, some greenery, and no one looking back at you, particularly when you're downstairs in the garden. So just a quick look at the garden down there. You've got a rear door, which is handy. But as you may or may not know, these wine growers' houses don't often come with gardens. More often than not, they have roof terraces that have been created either off the back of the property or up high on the roof. Then you've got a sort of a desk area here, and a little feature which is very unusual, a very, very smartly integrated lift. and this goes between this floor on the first floor down to the garage on the ground floor. So that's very useful, A, if you're an older person who has trouble with stairs, or B, if you want to bring your car straight into the garage and then put your shopping in the lift. Very handy indeed. There's then a chairlift which goes up to the top floor, the second floor. So as I said earlier, the property is air conditioned, which is very nice. And here on this floor, you've got 3 bedrooms. So you've got a nice big double bedroom at the back. With a view. Then if we go round to the left, you've got a room with a very, very nice exposed stone wall, also with air conditioning. So all the bedrooms are air conditioned and the living room space below. And this room has got a large skylight, which has got 2 different electrically operated blinds. There's an internal blind and an external shutter, which is really good for keeping the sun off in the summer. So that's 2. Then you've got quite a large bathroom with a bathtub, double vanity and a shower. And then next door you've got another double bedroom. Please don't worry about the state of the wall there. There was an issue with the guttering. That has been repaired. The problem is all gone, but the current owner wanted to wait a good chunk of time before having that redecorated. He's now satisfied. We've had a lot of rain since. He's satisfied that the problem has been fixed and that's going to be redecorated. So please don't worry about that. Also air conditioning in this room. So that's 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom with shower and toilet, then a shower room with toilet on the floor below. And then I have to still show you the garage, which is very big, and the garden, of course. So I think probably now is the time to illustrate how the lift works. So we simply press to call the lift. The door should open automatically. This is such a clever and neat installation. In we go. Press the descend button. The door will close automatically. This is rated as 4 people, by the way, 315 kilograms. But such a neat installation. Then we go down to the ground floor and straight into the garage. The garage doors are new from when the owners bought the house several years ago and are automated, which is rather handy. There we are. A very, very neat solution. Straight into the garage. And there you can just see the door closing automatically, and I think the lift will just stay there at that level. Really, really neat. So you've got some electrical equipment in that silver box for the lift. So it doesn't really take up much space at all. Then we've got plenty of storage space. A good sized garage. Worth noting, by the way, that you've got a sink and plumbing for washing machine and and tumble dryer here. Those are your newly fabricated and installed garage doors with electric opening. That's a door that goes to the hallway where we came in, which we'll go through in a second. But first, there's a sort of I suppose you might call it a workshop area. Quite a handy space. In here. And then we go down and out into the garden. And as you will see immediately as we come out, because you've got the farmer's yard just across and you've got no house there, you've got plenty of blue sky and no one looking back at you. Now we're out of season here, so everything is a bit autumnal looking. Don't let that put you off. The area is lovely still and looks absolutely fabulous in the spring and the summer. But this is a really good sized garden. For these type of houses, this is very unusual. There's also a well, and as I mentioned before, the back door, but in there's a well. So all you'd need to do is get a pump, drop a pump down, and then you've got well water for your gardening. So I'll just take you back and up to the stairs and back up to the first floor. And as I say, Rouhol is a really... I always thought Rouhol was a town, but I did some research recently, and I learnt that in France, once you get over 2,000 inhabitants, then actually an urbanisation is classed as a town rather than a village. So with Rouhol being just over 2,000, we're now in a small town, and because of that, you've got quite a bit in the way of commerce. So just a few steps away about 5 buildings away from the house, you've got a restaurant. You've got a number of other restaurants in the village, a couple of bars, a few local shops, and then just at the end of the road, so just a few hundred meters away, you've got a really, really helpful commercial zone, which is continuing to develop, where you've got a nice big Super U supermarket, which is really nicely done. You've got a DIY store, petrol station, and a few other bits and pieces. So overall, a good location. You're about a 10-minute drive from the town of Pézenas. And this is a really, really good 122 square meter Maison de Vigneron wine grower's house in good condition, ready to move into. So please do follow the link in the description below to go to the full listing on our website. Drop a comment in the comments section if you have any questions or comments. Thanks for watching. See you soon.